Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Garden of Sports. I'm your host, Jake Gardner, alongside Zach.
Yo, what's up, guys?
Also a gardener. And this
That's
is
right,
basketball...
I'm a gardener. I'm a gardener of certain sports.
Oh my god. Yeah, basketball Week 19 recap here in Week 20 prep episode. So, got a lot to go over. If you've been listening to the show, you kind of know the format. But if you haven't, it's surprises of the week. We go over some top storylines, give you the injury updates, go over trade targets if you're still not past your trade deadline, and then go over the top grabs list. So, without further ado, we'll just jump in. Surprises of the week so far, I put Mo Bamba back because 29.2 in the last 7, and he was in like a major slump before this, and this is just kind of nice to see because it just seemed like he was almost droppable. We talked about him last week as a potential drop, like a deeper league, you could drop him. So now you kind of have to run it out and see if you can keep it up. But it's nice to see. Spencer Dinwiddie, 34.9 in the last 7. He went crazy when Doncic was out, but even with Doncic in, he's been going off. So the new environment, he's really just, I don't know, re-inspired at the very least. I don't know if he was just used incorrectly in Washington or what, but it looks like the old Spencer Dinwiddie. And I think Dallas won that trade just because Porzingis is so injury prone that they're better off getting a nice guard like this. It spreads the floor, and then they could try to get a big man in the offseason.
Hell yeah.
DeJounte Murray is now the number 1 point guard in points leagues.
Jesus Christ.
53.1 in the last 7, and he's near 50 on the year, dude. Like, if you have a league, a points league that values defensive stats more than just 1 point, then he's at, like, I think I looked this morning, he was at, like, 49. So, his best year ever. If you drafted him, you got him, like, 3rd round or 4th round, and I was not a believer this year, so I was definitely wrong on him being this good. I thought he couldn't get to the next level, and he has. So it's just amazing to see. And yeah, with Derek White leaving, it helped him go off even more, but still, he was doing well before that. Malcolm Brogdon is back, been back for 2 weeks, 48.6 average. It's really good to see.
Fucking perfect, right in the first week of playoffs.
Yeah, perfect for you. Our league started playoffs a little early because we have 2-week matchups, just because I think it's a little more fair that if you have a bunch of slumping guys in 1 week that you shouldn't be knocked out. But
yeah, I love the 2-week matchups.
It really shows how good your team is or isn't.
Yeah.
You know?
It gives everybody an equal chance for sure.
Yeah, because anybody can have a slump week. You just have 3 of your, I don't know, top guys slumping, and it's over after all your hard work. So
yeah,
we do the 2 weeks, but I know that's a lot for some people. Half a month. But anyway, Terry Rozier, 46.7 in the last 7. Yeah, it's good to see him. He was kind of slumping, and now he's going off. So perfect sell high moment, and we'll talk about that more later. Reggie Jackson, 45.3 in the last 7. Did you see him going off against the Lakers?
I did, dude. It was awesome. I love Reggie Jackson, man. He's looking like Reggie Jackson from like 4 years ago.
Yeah, and Reggie Jackson from the second half of last year.
And the playoffs last year, yeah.
Yeah, for the Clippers. So really cool to see. Hilarious to watch him beat the Lakers like that. Because he was like running around. He's being goofy, but...
Yeah,
and then another guy I wanted to say I was wrong about.
He's an emotional guy for sure.
Yeah, Tyrese Maxey. 36.9 in the last 7, and he's a good player, and I think I kind of doubted him all year. Like, I doubted him when he was originally kind of taking over for Ben Simmons, as the point guard. I doubted that. I thought Ben Simmons might come back sooner. I thought he would fall off. He kept it up, and then I thought when they got James Harden that he would definitely fall off, and that's not the case at all. He's like a true team player, really hard worker.
Yeah, no, he's awesome, dude.
He could fit in like any scenario. Like, he's with 2 MVP caliber players, and he's still going off.
Yeah, and the first day that James Harden got to Philly, like right after the trade, Tyrese Maxey like started like working out with him. Like,
yeah, dude,
practicing together. So like he's like willing to learn from like the veteran guys. So he's just definitely, with hearing you say that he's like a true team player, I kind of had that feeling about him since There's like a bunch of videos you can find with him, like the first day Harden got there, just like going, like really just asking him all the questions, working out with him, getting pointers and everything. Like he's willing. He's one of those guys willing to like do that extra work. So
Yeah, I was just concerned just more about usage with James Harden being there.
yeah.
But
No, I mean, yeah.
apparently like that doesn't matter. So like he's good enough to. It's almost like he's more open now because James Harden is there. Before he was more, they could focus him on defense because Embiid was the main threat, and then Tobias Harris is there. But
which I was wondering if we're going to talk about later or not. But like, we can talk about it now since it's kind of relevant for this. So what's your rest of season outlook on Tobias Harris?
Well, let's talk about it in a bit.
I don't see it on the list, but okay.
Oh no, he should be on there.
Oh, he is on buy low. Okay, gotcha. We'll wait.
Yeah, we'll talk about him. But yeah, he's just learning. It's taken him a little longer to learn playing with James Harden like this, where Maxey fit right in, because James Harden has played with other guards before and made them. They were both good, like him and Chris Paul.
Yeah,
and him and Westbrook were both good. So I think he was able to right away work with Maxey, where I don't think James Harden has really played or helped a small forward a lot.
And Maxey is almost James Harden Jr. I'm not going to quite say that, but like they have very similar skill sets where he can drive and he has a great shot, Maxey.
Yeah, let's just bring that into storylines. I don't have it written here, but I think because Maxey is able to be still this good with James Harden there, they really have a big four, so you could argue it's the best starting five in the league. I think they can go on a championship run.
Yeah, but Philly always looks good going into the playoffs, and
they didn't have shooting before because they had Ben Simmons, and they didn't have Maxey doing this.
Yeah, true.
They had Embiid. They did have a really good one a couple years ago, but they just weren't ready. They had Embiid, Butler, Ben Simmons, and Tobias Harris, but that's not outside shooting, where Tyrese Maxey and James Harden provide the outside shooting that fits better with a big center like that. Then it opens up the court more for everybody because you either have to focus the guards shooting or you have to focus the big man down low.
And then you got Tobias Harris, just kind of great defense, and he's just eating up and
like
he
can
mid-range.
Score too when he really wants to.
It's crazy, man. I mean, they have all the talent for sure.
And they have one of the best defensive players in the league.
Yeah.
In Thibault. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they have a 2-year window here, and I think they knew that when they made the trade for Harden, who's already 32. But yeah, they have a good shot. I think it's a better shot this year though for me, because next year when Ben Simmons is fully ready for a whole season with the Nets, I think the Nets and Kyrie can actually play every game because everybody's over the craziness of COVID, thinking that they're all going to die.
Yeah.
And Kyrie will actually be allowed to play because people are becoming insane again.
Everyone that still thinks you're gonna die from COVID is on Twitter, though. So we'll see.
Well, they were already shut-ins, and now they're saying shut-ins. But it is what it is. But yeah, the Nets are going to be better next year than they are this year. So you can beat the Nets this year for sure. You have to get past the Bucks and the Heat, though. But I think they could do it. Like Embiid can match up with Giannis well.
Yeah, I think that would be a great playoff matchup for sure. That would be two monster teams going at each other.
Yeah,
like that's like a monster truck rally playoff matchup.
Exactly. Yeah, but I could go on and on. So
yeah,
other storylines. Zion, finally some news. He returned right this Saturday to New Orleans. So I think he's gonna kind of ramp it up here, supposedly, to play this season still.
He's down to 320. He's down to 325 now, so he's getting himself in shape.
Did it say that?
No.
Get out of here. No, he's got to be above 300, right?
I think, but he weighed 300 pounds of muscle, but yeah.
Yeah, but
brick
they're
shithouse.
The New Orleans Pelicans could go for a playoff spot. I mean, why not?
Yeah, they could be one of those, they could be one of those shocking 8 seeds that win a playoff round.
Yeah, we'll see. Lakers organization wants Westbrook demoted to the bench. So a lot of drama going on. It's almost a guaranteed trade in the offseason or cut.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it's just it's a horrible breakup going on right now. Like a long drawn out breakup.
It's very sad because I still think Westbrook's a good player. It's just like this is really hurting like his overall legacy, I think.
Yeah, it's
I just don't know why.
If he could come back next year on a different team, and
he just doesn't fit with the way, like he just doesn't fit with LeBron. They're just like a square peg round hole.
Yeah, they play the same.
Yeah,
they play the same. So LeBron takes away from him. It's kind of how it is because they're both distributors.
Yeah,
and they're both driving to the lane, ball dominant. So yeah. Anyway, that's just some crazy news. I think Westbrook could do better somewhere else. So probably
absolutely can.
He'll be a later pick next year because of this season.
No, I already got him on my list for next year.
He'll be a steal though wherever he's ranked.
Yeah, he's gonna be like he's gonna go to like I don't know, Dallas or something.
No, they don't need him now. They
don't. Oh,
Dinwiddie.
Well, he's gonna go to like some team where he won't be. It'll really be like he'll be like when Chris Paul went to the Suns, and you're like, okay, he's just gonna ride out the end of his career, and then he ends up looking really good. It'll be something like that.
Yeah, we'll find out, dude. Clippers maybe.
Yeah, maybe
they need a point guard. And he's played with Paul George before, so
they're not gonna keep Jackson.
I mean, they could play them both. Like Reggie could be the shooting guard.
Okay,
better shooter than not Steph. Westbrook. And then Bron, 56-point game last night to beat the Warriors. Finally ended like their losing streak. I think they're gonna make the play-in tournament, man. They're good enough. Just having LeBron James, you're good enough to make the play-in tourney at least. Yeah,
I mean LeBron, he's the heart and soul of the team. He's gonna will them to that 9 seed. Like,
yeah, I agree.
Go LeBron.
And then if they have AD back, I mean, in the playoffs, dude, and you have all those big men, and you could play more defense in the playoffs, like they allow more. I don't know, man. They could definitely make some surprises. I'm not saying they're gonna win. I mean, they're not beating the Suns or the Warriors in a playoff matchup, but
no, I mean they're not gonna be a walk in the park pushover.
No, team. I mean imagine them getting matched with Utah.
You're gonna have to give them your absolute best, or they're gonna be a little better than maybe their seeding will suggest. I think that because LeBron, if he's healthy in the playoffs, I don't care what team he's on. It could be LeBron on the fucking Los Angeles Plumbers, and LeBron would just be he is never gonna be an easy out. So like, I could see it. I don't see them getting to like the conference finals. I could see them maybe getting like the second round.
Yeah,
but
I think that would.
Yeah, and that would still be kind of a surprise to some people because of just how bad they've looked. But anything's possible with LeBron.
Yep. And then Warriors have lost 7 of their last 10, so they're just on a horrible skid.
They're just resting up, dude. They're mailing it in for the playoffs.
No, because you don't want to lose the 2 seed.
I guess.
They gotta keep it. So they need Draymond back.
I don't think they're all that worried about it, though, to be honest. I think they're just going to be like, once we get to the playoffs, we'll go into trying.
You're worried if you're losing 7 out of 10 games.
Oh, okay. Has somebody been hurt? Like, has Clay been hurt or Steph been hurt in and out?
Clay might have missed 1 game, but Steph's been there the whole time. They've been...
I'm wondering. I haven't been watching a ton of basketball, like, at least much more than... Like, I haven't been watching a ton of basketball outside of the Bulls. How's Klay Thompson doing?
He's doing good, bro.
Really good? Like, actually,
No, not his previous self good. He's actually on kind of a skid right now, but he's doing, like, for coming back from all those injuries, like, I say, it's pretty good.
Is next year maybe a year that you maybe draft him?
Yeah, next year's a year he's probably a steal.
A 3rd, 4th, 5th round pick, maybe?
He's a sleeper, but it's definitely limited upside with the injuries he's had, dude. Just like how good can he really come back to being? You know?
Yeah.
And he was never just being next to Steph and or Kevin Durant, he was never like a 40 fantasy point guy. He's always been around 30 plus. So like, if you want higher upside, you'd go with somebody else. But if you want some consistent, he'll definitely be better next year. Is what I'm coming to. Just
Yeah, I kind of agree. That's what I was leading to.
Full season of working out.
Yeah,
not being limited in your workouts. But anyway, I'm kind of going on these storylines here a little too long.
No, it's all right. It's interesting shit.
Yeah, Bulls fall to the 4 seed. They lost 4 games in a row. I'm a little worried, man.
Yeah, I mean,
not looking good.
But the thing is, man, I mean, I know that losses are losses at the end of the day. Like, not great, but like, they've had a chance to win all those 4 games. You know, like it hasn't been blowouts.
Yeah, and we're tied for second.
You know, they're looking very competitive. They've been in all those games, and they're going to be getting 3 guys back, important players to the team here within the next couple weeks.
We were a top 5 defense with Lonzo and Caruso.
And imagine Williams adding to that defense too, you know?
Yeah. And now our defensive rating is horrible since it's like they've been gone
absolutely awful. I mean, we knew that the only reason the defense was good was because of Ball and Caruso. Yeah. Those were the only 2 noticeable great defenders the whole time, you know, at the beginning of the year.
Yep. Everyone else is average or below average.
And Williams, like our 3 best defenders are all out. Like Williams was considered like maybe the best defensive player going into this season.
Maybe Lonzo, but yeah.
Yeah. So
anyway, I'm
surprised. I'm surprised how bad the defense is just without those 2 guys. But I mean, I don't think it's like super shocking.
Yeah, Levine just has never really played good defense.
No, and his defense looked better when he was with Caruso and Ball out there because you know they'd be taking the 2 best offensive players, and Levine, when he would give a little bit of effort, he would actually look kind of decent. But like when there's nobody that plays defense on the team, Levine is just trying to go into, okay, I just got to outscore these guys, you know?
Yeah, agreed. But yeah, let's break into injury news just because I've been dragging. Storylines are a lot of fun for basketball.
Yeah, so let's drag this out too. Go ahead.
I'm going to try to keep it short. Jaylen Brown, so everyone saw that nasty ankle injury, but he's a game time decision for Sunday, so he only missed 2 games so far. Could be back today. Ben Simmons back remains without a timeline to make his season debut. So his back stiffness has delayed his ability to get on the floor with his teammates. So I don't know, man. He's at least 3 weeks away to me. Not having like conditioning up, having this back injury. That's why I think they're not good enough to win this year. Just like there's too much of that is too many moving pieces, not enough playing time together. But yeah, who else is relevant here? Lonzo Ball.
I think this whole Bulls list.
He's still been ramping up his running lately, but nothing crazy. Patrick Williams, like you said, has started working out with the ball again, but is yet to ramp up to contact drills. Caruso may be cleared to resume dribbling and shooting drills shortly after the All-Star break. So, okay, that's old news. That's all old news.
He's probably been doing that, I think.
Karis LeVert, doubtful for today's game, so people were hoping he would be back soon. Could be a few more games. Maxi Kleber day-to-day. Luka Doncic missed yesterday day-to-day. He'll be fine, though. I think they were resting him. They still won anyway.
Yeah.
Like you said, Jokic day-to-day illness, so at least it's not a leg injury. He's probable for Sunday. Bigger news here, Michael Porter Jr. Nuggets are planning to send Porter back to the G League's Grand Rapids Gold to scrimmage later this week.
Damn.
So, big news right there. Who else is relevant? Andrew Wiggins will not play in Monday's game against the Nuggets for rest purposes. Thompson will not play in Monday's game against the Nuggets for rest purposes. Curry will not play in Monday's game against the Nuggets for rest purposes. So they're giving them all a breather night, and then they're going to turn it around. That's the plan.
Hell yeah. Let's
go. Draymond Green, there was a little, I think we talked about this last week, but he was a limited participant last Saturday during practice, so he's closing in. Could be a couple weeks, but
what the hell's going on with James Wiseman, dude?
He was recalled by Golden State, so he's working out with the team. I think they're keeping it hush hush, but he'll be back.
Okay,
for sure. They'll need him for playoffs. They'll need a body. Dennis Schroeder rolled his ankle, and he's questionable for Sunday's game, so he's missed at least one game. For the Indiana Pacers, Chris Daughtry day-to-day, questionable for Sunday's game. That's the only major news there. Let's see. I mean, we already talked about Clippers last week. Paul George's possible return this season. Talked about Anthony Davis already. I mean, he was going to be reevaluated in another 2 to 3 weeks. Dylan Brooks, here's some updates. So he's a good fantasy player for Memphis, so this is relevant. He took a huge step forward in his recovery from a severe left ankle sprain on Wednesday. So he could be back soon, finally. Like, whoever's been holding him and stashing him, because he's like a 29 average guy in points leagues. I mean, this would be nice to get back. Like, this is better than probably several of your bottom of the bench players. So
yeah,
hopefully he's back soon. Victor Oladipo, another big news.
I was going to say,
Monday.
Or
possibly debuting Monday here.
Fuck yeah, dude.
He needs to receive final clearance from the training staff, though.
Oh,
that could be huge.
Him and Jimmy Butler, man, they could make sweet music together.
Yeah, I was thinking he'd be more of a bench piece, but Kyle Lowry, personal, is out Saturday against the 76ers. So Kyle Lowry has missed, if you remember in the beginning of the season, he had like a week or so where he was out for personal reasons. You know, just personal, so you have no idea why. And then now he's going through that again. He's missed like 3 games now for personal reasons.
Well, in a perfect world, wouldn't you play Kyle Lowry at the 1, Oladipo at the 2, and Butler at the 3?
Probably when Oladipo gets his minutes up, they'll probably have him on the bench.
Okay.
Coming back from all these major injuries.
Because Hero's playing really good too to be worthy of a start. So,
but I'm saying, like, if Lowry stays out, yeah, Oladipo will be a great pickup.
Oh yeah, because he can play. He can play the point too. So yeah, they got tons of options. They're going to be scary in the playoffs with all these guys back.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I mean, they're the 1 seed for a reason.
It's going to be a bloodbath in the East, dude.
Best all-around team. They just beat Philly last night without Lowry.
Yeah.
Butler came back from an injury and they won.
Jeez.
Milwaukee Bucks, big news for them. Brook Lopez, who's been out almost all season, will begin contact and 5-on-5 scrimmaging. So that's huge for them for the playoffs, because if anybody remembers, Brook Lopez was a huge part.
Stalwart.
He was a huge part of them winning that championship.
Your classic 3-on-D 7-footer. 3-and-D 7-foot. He's crazy, but he's a very good shooter.
Minnesota Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards. He was ruled out for Saturday's game, so he's missed a couple of games with this knee injury that's been bothering him. So we'll see if there's any update. But then we already went over Zion Williamson. He could be clear for basketball activities soon.
Derrick Rose.
Derrick Rose was at the Knicks morning shoot-around Friday, but he still hasn't been clear for basketball activities. Let's see here. Oklahoma City. Wow, so many guys out. Josh Giddey, they finally kind of came out and said a couple weeks away. So that's what we thought. That's what we thought originally when it happened, but they only said they just kind of left it open. Now it's more official. Like, he's definitely far away, and they're not going to rush back their star rookie. So Wendell Carter day-to-day. Jalen Suggs day-to-day, James Harden day-to-day, Cameron Johnson, who just hit a game winner the other day, then he missed the next game with an ankle injury, so he's been out. Devin Booker's still out with COVID-19 protocols. He just missed 2 games so far, I believe. But yeah, I think we're almost done here, guys. Sorry, a lot of more injuries than I thought. I'm just trying to see
Justice
most relevant.
Winslow.
No, not relevant.
Okay.
He's not good enough. I'm scrolling down here. Toronto Raptors. Fred VanVleet knee is questionable for Sunday's game, so he's missed 3 games now.
Ooh.
With an injury, so hopefully he's back for them soon.
Obi-Wan Kenobi expected to be sidelined for at least 2 weeks. OG Anunoby.
Oh yeah, that's another big one. Yep, and then Mike Conley is out. The Utah Jazz, and then Washington Wizards. Porzingis is expected to debut Sunday, just today.
Okay.
Against the Pacers. So that's big for them. That'll be their main big man going forward. And that's your injury news.
That's your injury news.
Yawn. Anyway. Buy low targets, dude.
Let's do it.
Let's break into it. So you could skip this section on YouTube if you're already past your trade deadline. But we're going to go over it. Buy low. Anthony Edwards, just with him being out, the last couple games and 35.8 average in the last 7. I think it's still a buy low, just like last week. So I kept him on the list. I'm still trying to get him if there's no trade deadline in my league. Jalen Green, rest of the season outlook looks awesome. 33.3 in the last 7 and rising. I think they're just going to keep throwing him like 40 minutes a night, around there. Because it's their high drafted rookie. They want to see him play. And they want to lose games. So there it is. Great buy low. Try to get him now while he's at 33 before he's at like 38, Then he's ungrabbable. And if he's available in your league, like he's available in several of my leagues, I grabbed him. Even though he's like 60% owned, you got to grab him. Franz Wagner looks to be heating up as well. Another rookie, 32.1 in the last 7. So he was an easier buy low last week, but this week he's starting to rise, and we know he can do even better than this, so go try to get him. Chris Middleton has been in a big slump, and he's due for a hot streak. It's been like a month of him slumping. I think he's about to start going off, and everyone knows he can average around 40 when he's going off or higher. So this is probably the biggest buy low, throw something to get him, Jimmy Butler, 31.8 in the last 7. Just because that number is kind of low, I'd try to grab him. It's only one game back from injury, but... And then Dorian Finney-Smith for Dallas, he seems to have won the best big man in Dallas spot, and 30.4 in the last 7, I think is a great bench piece going forward. Desmond Bane has been ice cold lately, 28.2 in the last 7. Another rookie that's slumping, and I would try to get. He can always average above 30. He's been good enough. He's on a great team in Memphis. And Fernay Simons, so he was ice cold for about a week until last night, of course, where he went the hell off. But even with last night, he only brought it up to 27.8. So that's how bad he was doing before then. Was a lot lower than that. I would try to get him. I mean, he's Portland's guy for the rest of the season. And then another buy low I wanted to talk about is Tobias Harris, who's had such a bad couple weeks trying to learn to play with James Harden, and only 26 average in the last 7. I think it's like a guy could be frustrated, and it could be a great grab for you, like a great trade, because he could easily take over. Tyrese Maxey's doing good, but all of them going off isn't super sustainable, and anybody can get cold, and Tobias can always fill in and start heating up as well. So, I mean, don't throw too much, but he could be a great buy low, where in the past he's averaged around 35. So, sell high trades. Any other buy low, Zach? Quiet there.
Yeah, no, I was just kind of letting you run through it. I definitely think Tobias Harris is my favorite buy low in this whole list here, because I think he can do better, and I think they'll figure out a way to integrate him in. And I think especially come playoff time, Tobias, well, I'm saying for the actual 76ers, but I think that he can figure it out and be better. I would be interested in that. For
sure. Yeah, and then sell highs. Let's break into it. Spencer Dinwiddie. So he went off with Luka Doncic out, and he's doing great in Dallas, but we know there's injury history, and we know he's the number 2 in Dallas. He's not the number 1, so maybe try and trade for a higher upside player that isn't getting taken away from by the high usage of Luka Doncic. One of these buy lows, if you could trade Spencer Dinwiddie for even Desmond Bane, I would do it. If you could include him in a package for Chris Middleton, 100% would do it. Or him in a package for Anthony Edwards. Try to do that. Terry Rozier, 46.7 in the last 7. So he's a great player, but his normal average is around 30 to 32. So 46.7 isn't sustainable, so that's why he's a sell high. He's still a great player to hold, but see what you can get. And that's the same kind of logic here for Reggie Jackson. 45.3 average in the last 7. He's on a hot streak, but that'll slow down, so you always try to go for these buy lows with these sell highs, because usually the sell highs are guys that can't keep it up. Besides maybe the next one here, Tyrese Maxey, 36.9 in the last 7. I still don't see him staying around. I don't see him staying at 37. I see him staying around 30 to 32. So that's why he's a sell high for me.
Yeah.
But he's still a great player to hold as well. He's just, he's the number 3 /4 option. Right now he's the number 3, but we'll see how it plays out in Philly. Cameron Johnson, 37.2 in the last 7. He did miss the last game, but the game before that was when he had a career high, like 38 points, game winner. And we all know Chris Paul's out like 2 weeks. So guys like Cameron Johnson are going to keep filling in and doing great. Wendell Carter Jr., he's 38 in the last 7, but he's been out for 2 games. And so that kind of leads me into Mo Bamba has been coming back to form, like actually doing well. But that's when Wendell was out. So I would sell high on Mo Bamba for sure, because I'm a little worried that he could go back to getting those weak minutes again right when Wendell Carter gets back. Unless, he keeps going off and then he takes that spot, but I don't know. He's scary to me. He was a drop last week, like we were talking about him as a drop. So if you could get anything for him, I would. And then you lose that headache on your bench. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So try to sell high if you can. Al Horford, a good week for him. He's going to have weeks like this because he's just a great old player, but he also has really slump weeks because they don't always have high usage of him. 39.4 in the last 7. I would sell high personally because they have 2 good big men there, not just Al Horford. So he's not 39.4 is not sustainable. And those are the trades. A lot of good players on there that a lot of these trades could actually go down. Some of these sell highs for buy lows this week. So I was pretty excited about this list. Did you have any more guys, Zach, that you wanted to talk about?
I got a couple guys when we get to, but I was thinking we could just wait till my actual section, but.
Got it. So scoop them up. Here's my must grab list. And the first one here might fall off the list, but I'm keeping them on for long term. So Isaiah Jackson, 24.8 in the last 7, which is, pretty mediocre. But he had some foul trouble a couple games. And he's the rookie in Indiana, the big man rookie power forward. He gets blocks. I think they want to keep trying to play him heavy minutes the rest of the season. Just as the organization, like they know they're not winning anything. So they want to keep throwing this guy out there. So long term, if you can afford to hold a guy, this is a guy I would keep going with. Cameron Payne, talked about it last week as a grab and stash because he was still out. But he did not disappoint in his return games here, and he's the official starting point guard when Chris Paul's out for the next 2 months, and 35 in the last 7. So this could be a league winner because we're approaching fantasy playoffs. If you're not already in it, like us in one league, but yeah, other standard leagues, I think it starts in 2 weeks anyway. So could be a fantasy winner. Same with this next guy, Isaiah Roby, 38.6 in the last 7 for points leagues. You got to grab him and see if he can keep it going, just to see, because last year I think he was also a league winner with a huge second half. And we talked about him as a potential grab before the All-Star break. Like, he had one big game and we thought, oh, here we could be going. And then, yeah, since the All-Star break, it's been a little up and down, but now it's kind of heating up again. Mm-hmm. So you got to try it, you got to try. If you have a stream spot, you got to try guys like this. And then, like we said, Cameron Johnson was a sell high, but he's also a grab if he's not owned in your league. 37.2 in the last 7. And then Dorian Finney-Smith, also low owned, but he's like the main big man in Dallas, like we said. So 30.1 in the last 7. Got to grab this guy. Some other guys I want to talk about. Jalen Smith, another power forward on Indiana. He's really efficient when he gets the minutes. 28 in the last 7. I think if you want to keep testing out who's going to develop into the main big man there's like 3 guys competing for it. You can grab Jalen Smith. He's still serviceable even when competing with the other 2. So Malik Monk, 25.8 in the last 7. I think this is a good grab. Didn't have a great week, but great last game where the Lakers won. That could be a huge morale boost for them. With LeBron going off, Malik Monk went off. And with the news of Westbrook probably being moved to the bench, I think Malik Monk can do way better as a starter. Higher usage. Victor Oladipo, you got to put him on here as a grab and stash at the very minimum if you have an IR spot, because we know what he's done in the past. We don't know the minutes he's going to get though right away. So it's not a grab and play right away. If you could hold him on your IR for a couple games and then play him. Otherwise, see how he does. If you have the moves and if you have an IR spot, grab him. If not, like if it's a competitive 10-team league, I wouldn't bother. I would bother in deeper leagues. Terrence Mann, 27.4 in the last 7, so he's still a grab because Reggie Jackson kind of took the spotlight this week where he kind of took over the offensive load, where the week before it was Terrence Mann. So I think, guys like that, these two will be splitting who's going off, and there's no positive indication that Paul George is returning. So, and then Trey Mann, I still have him as a grab. This one's more iffy. It's deeper league. With the news of Giddey still being out like a couple weeks away, Trey Mann's been starting at guard. He kind of fell off this week though, 23.7. So probably like a 14-team league guy right now, maybe 12. But it's at least a stream. At the bare minimum, he's a stream guy because he's starting on a crappy team and he's getting heavy minutes when he starts. Devin Vassell, 24.9 in the last 7. So he kind of went down a little bit this week. He was a must grab on the Spurs here, but his numbers went down a little bit. I'm still a big fan though, so I have him on here. And maybe not a 10-team league, but a 12-team league, you can grab this guy. DeMarcus Cousins, 40.6 in the last 7, 10% owned. Yes, the game he went off was with Jokic out, but even before that, he had a really good game for Denver. God, I couldn't think of Denver. But yeah, you got to grab him and see how good he can keep doing on the bench. They had a weak bench anyway, so this is a great guy for their bench who can run things while Jokic is out. I mean, I like it a lot as a deeper league. You might not grab him in a 10-team, but 12-team league, he's a grab.
Yeah, I have him, and I'm gonna hold for now and see just how he does. Yeah,
you got to see how he does because they don't have they're mostly a good starting 5. I mean, but they just have so many guys hurt. There's just a weak bench, so he's a great guy for them. Zion, if he was dropped in your league because people had given up, which he was in several of mine, he's a grab and stash. Not with all that news, put him on your IR spot. If you have multiple, that's great. See if he comes back in time for your fantasy playoffs. Drops, I didn't fill this out fully, but because we went over basically a lot of the guys last week, if you listen to last week's episode, were drops this week still, like Davion Mitchell. But I wanted to talk about Derek White. So since being traded to Boston, he's averaged around 20 fantasy points, dude. And I think for playoffs and for fantasy, he's at 24. That's barely serviceable. And even with Jaylen Brown out, his minutes he hasn't done better. Like with Jaylen Brown out, he got 26.9 and 21.8. I mean, I'm leaning towards dropping him soon. I don't know. He was like a 30-plus guy, but with him competing with Marcus Smart as that two-way guard and, Marcus Smart being more established, I think Derek White falls by the wayside. And he's a potential drop for me. I think 10-team league, he is a drop. If you're coming playoff time and you want some of these hot players we've been talking about, if you grabbed Cameron Payne and dropped Derek White, I mean, that's a good move at this point because Cameron Payne's the starting point guard for Phoenix Suns, you know what I mean? And Derek White's basically now a bench piece in the Boston Celtics where he was a starter before, so he's really taken a hit. He started out actually pretty good there. The first week, it looked like he could actually produce there, but now it was just a really bad week. So I'm still holding him in a 12-team, but I'm getting kind of I'm in a playoff matchup, so I'm getting kind of nervous.
Yeah.
See how he does tonight. But yeah, that's the biggest drop I wanted to talk about. The other guys that were potential drops were Mo Bamba and Vanderbilt, but Vanderbilt did good this week. Mo Bamba did good this week, so. One guy I did want to talk about is a potential drop is O'Shea Brissett, the other Indiana power forward. It looks like out of the 3, he is starting to fall to the 3rd best. He was the best for a while, for a 2-week run, and now it looks like he's starting to fall off, and Jalen Smith's passing him. the rookie Isaiah Jackson's passing him. So O'Shea Brissett could be a drop for you. I dropped him in a 12 team, no hesitation, but I'm in a playoff matchup. But you got to have a quick trigger. So yeah, it is what it is. Zach, do you have any concerns? Let's go to that.
Yeah, I do have a couple concerns I wanted to ask you about. So, Jared Vanderbilt, is he definitely a drop now?
I was going to say no in a 12
Okay.
team. I mean, 10 team, yes, because there's higher upside guys here on this list of grabs.
Yeah.
But 12 team, like he had 2 really good games for you, didn't he? For a bottom of the bench player?
Yeah, he did. He did.
What was it? 30 and 27.4. I mean, that's all you can ask for from like your worst player.
True. Yeah, so I guess I'm happy with him. And then Mo Bamba, do you think he'll be a top 15 center the rest of the way?
No.
No.
Just because, like I said, he had those big games when Wendell Carter was out for 2 games. And Wendell Carter's only listed as day-to-day. He's not listed as, out long-term. So that takes away from Mo Bamba and his upside. So I would try to trade him. Otherwise, I think he'll become a drop again. I really do.
Okay. And then I just wanted to think about a couple streamers for some deep leagues, like Torian Prince or Maxi Kleber. Do you think any of those guys are worth like streaming?
Yeah, Maxi Kleber is out right now, but he is worth. I mean, he's probably the second best big man on Dallas at this point. He was looking hot, but he just keeps getting injured, man. So they can't trust in him like Dorian Finney-Smith. 14-team league, yes, I would grab and stream him. I mean, I think he's a streamer no matter what. Like, if you just want to stream a guy for one game, Maxi Kleber's dependable, just when he's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Torian Prince, I mean, he's like a bench player on Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he's had a hot streak here. That's literally all he is a stream. If there's nobody, I mean, like a deep league stream, there should be better people available than this. He only had 13 minutes last game. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, like a 14-team league, you could stream him, but I wouldn't hold him more than one game, Any other players, Zach?
No, I think that's it.
Okay, let's go over the schedule real quick for week 20. Tuesday, Thursday, there's only 2 teams that have that, so that could be a 1-grab, 2-game stream for you guys. Brooklyn Nets and Golden State Warriors. So a great stream for the Warriors is like a guy like Kevin Looney for them. Brooklyn Nets, I mean, there's a couple of shooting guards going off. Like Bruce Brown's available, and he was going off recently, like hot shooting. So you can stream him as well. That'd be a great one. Let's see what other. Anybody have a 4 or only 2-game week here? No, it's all 4 and 3, so there's no really bad matchups. So is there a Thursday, Saturday? So if you want to stream a guy Thursday to Saturday, Denver Nuggets and Warriors. So, yeah, like I said, Golden State Warriors, Kevin Looney, Nuggets. Obviously, DeMarcus Cousins is the guy. Coming this week. And then, let's see, Friday, Sunday, and that's pretty stacked. So, there you have it. Yeah, look for a Tuesday, Thursday, or Thursday, Saturday stream. I think Monday, Wednesday looks pretty stacked as well. So, yeah, kind of back to normal streaming where the past month was kind of different. But, yeah, usually you're looking for those Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday streams. All right, and that'll do it. That'll do it,
everybody.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everyone. And follow us on all our social media. We're on all the platforms. And we're only streaming on YouTube right now, but we'll be to Spotify soon.
Yeah, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, get all the updates so you can hear every episode and you won't miss anything.
Yes,
and then, like Jake said, follow us on our social media. We got Facebook, facebook.com/Garden of Sports podcast. We have Instagram, instagram.com/Garden of Sports. And we have Twitter, twitter.com/GOSPod2021. Go give us a follow. Definitely won't regret it. And you'll have the time of your life.
Hell yeah. All right, man.
All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll catch you next time.
Thanks, guys.